when he speaks of sin, he is not describing those who ever sin, because he's already said that we all sin. He's thinking of a habitual pattern, a pattern that is neither fought against or repented of. Calvin describes these people as those who indulge themselves in the liberty of sinning, those who have, quote, a deliberative purpose to sin or a continued course in sin. It is, as I've said before, the difference between falling into sin and jumping into sin with 2 feet. You know, you walking with Christ and you slip and you fall and you sin and God picks you up and you say, I'm sorry, and you keep walking. There's that, and then there's, sin. Sin. And I'm going to jump into sin, and I love sin, and now I'm going to start swimming in sin and enjoying this sin and embracing it, and it's who I am, it's what I do, it's what I practice. See, John is combating 2 sides of the same heresy. We've been calling this heresy the proto-Gnostic heresy, some kind of precursor to this Gnosticism which ravaged the church, especially in the 2nd century. So these false teachers, as best as we can tell, are saying, look, we have this gnosis. Gnosis is the Greek word for knowledge. We have this knowledge. We know the truth. We're in the light. Therefore, we don't have to be bothered by sin. That's the issue that John was addressing in chapter 1. The folks who said, we're so spiritual, we're not bothered by sin. We're kind of done with all that sin stuff. John says, come on, get real. Nobody's done with sin until you get to heaven. But the other side of it is the lie that says, well, I have this knowledge, I have this secret initiation, I'm in the light, I'm with God, that I don't have to be concerned with sin. You see, not bothered by sin. Okay, well, I'm not concerned with sin. I don't have to be upset when I do sin. I don't have to think too much about whether I sin or not, because I know God and I'm in God, and so God must not be concerned with my sin, and I don't have to be concerned with my sin. That's what John is now addressing here in chapter 3, to say, oh, no, if you are making a practice of sinning, it's a sign that you don't know the God that you're talking so much about, that you don't really abide in Him. John is not expecting the Christian to be marked by sinlessness. He does expect the Christian to be marked by a growing consistency and a widespread integrity. What John has in mind is not the absolute impossibility of ever sinning, but the utter incongruity of sin with the Christian identity. See, no one is without sin. We see that here, except for Christ. Christians will sin. We will stumble. We will repent. We will walk. We will get back up and follow Christ. What he's saying is true Christians never give up on righteousness and never give themselves finally and fully over to sin.